Okay. Oh, trying to make sure this thing is recording. Hi, everybody. I just like saying hi, guys. I don't know who's watching. Girls and guys, whoever finds my channel to be interesting, whoever lands on this video, hello to you. So, it is Z, and I'm back, and I am kind of starting a new series on my channel. And I don't know, this last year or so, I have really gone through a lot. And I have to say, I was watching This Is Us yesterday while I was working. So I was catching up on season 3, which I love This Is Us. It's definitely an emotional roller coaster, but I love the show, and whoever does the writing, kudos to you. My hat is off to you. So kudos to whoever the writers are. But anyway, as I was watching one of the last episodes about Randall, well, there were a couple of episodes that talked about Randall and him trying to find his mother, and they did the flashbacks of him being young, and essentially, when he was talking to his therapist, it was like, he had all of these experiences, but he didn't have an opportunity to express them. And so what he did, he suppressed all of those emotions. He suppressed all of those feelings, all of those thoughts, and he was never able to, let them out. And then the unfortunately, I live in an apartment, so I wasn't able to kind of do the yelling exercise that his mother, his aunt, and his mom and he did at the lake. And when I was watching it, I was like, I bet that is so therapeutic to just scream and let out all of the pain, all of the frustration, all of the negative thoughts, all the things that are pent up. And so I've been thinking a lot about, what do I want to do with my YouTube channels? I want them to be consistent, but more than consistent, I want them to be authentic, because I'm an authentic person. I dislike very much. I very much dislike fake people who always have to have some type of persona or shell or whatever. And it's like you never really get to know who they are. You never know what they're saying because they're always so busy. I don't know if they're trying to protect themselves or just present a certain image. It's just like, who are you? You never really find out who they are. Not so much that you want to find out who they are. I don't know. I just don't like fakeness. It does not agree with my person. So I had one series that I was thinking about doing, which was going to be a religion detox. And I probably will still do it because I hate religion. And when I say religion, it's all of the rules, all of the practices, all of the things that we're conditioned. Now, I'm a Christian in church, but it's not just Christians that do it, because I grew up Muslim, and religion, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't say this, don't say that, oh, don't say this to this person, don't say this person, don't speak to this person, don't look this person in the eye. It's like, what? It's draining. So I was going to do a series about detoxing. I'm looking at my computer, but detoxing from religion and just divesting from the whole thing. And so I'm not going to get started on that because I have very strong feelings, and I have personal experiences that, I'm not looking for anybody to support me or not support me, but my personal experiences support my decision to divest from that. And so anyway, moving along, let's pooch right along. The other thing I wanted to do was just talk about my truth and what is true to me and what happened. What have I experienced? Because I was triggered watching Randall go through his process of finally telling someone, this happened to me. This person did this to me. It made me feel a particular kind of way, and I have been holding on to it for him, in his case, how old is Randall? I don't know. He's almost 40. I think he's 36 or 37, but whatever. For 30-some odd years, and here I am. I will be 50 in a little over 3 years. So I'll turn 47 this year, and I've been holding on to this stuff for more than 30 years. More than 30 years of my life. Actually, and some of it more than 40 years. And, I'm just I'm tired of holding on to stuff. I'm tired of presenting a good front when on the inside I'm crumbling. I'm tired of trying to constantly present the face that people are comfortable with, or that they think or say or condition you to present, when in all actuality that's not the truth. And I'm tired of, for lack of a better word, covering up for people who have victimized me or traumatized me in some way, shape, or form, and just constantly feeling like I have to be the person to, as a Christian, be the person to be like, well, you turn the other cheek, all the things that and when I say they, I'm not speaking about any particular person. If you either grew up in church, have been a long time church member, or going to church, you have heard these things. Oh, well, just pray for them. I don't want to pray for them. I want to bust their head to the white meat. I don't want to pray for them. I want to tell them that, look, this is what you did, offended me, it hurt me, it traumatized me, and now I have to walk around here and act like you didn't do it, so you can feel good about yourself, or so that everything can continue to look as pristine as people in church love for things to look. And that's another reason I really kind of, this is going to be a ramble, but that's another reason that I kind of want to just be like, I'm not going to say done with going to church, because there are a lot of people at my particular church that I belong to that I really, really like and love. And I have met some really, really great people, and I've had some great experiences. But ultimately, when it comes to my faith, it is a spiritual experience, and it is a relationship that I have with God. And I don't know why, but I always get this example in my head. And it's like, if you're on death row, or if you are in prison for the rest of your life, for whatever reason, and you're a Christian, and you believe in God, and you have a personal relationship with God, if you are going to be in prison for the rest of your life, you're not going to have the opportunity to go to church every Sunday, Wednesday, Tuesday, every time the door cracks. And so you have to have, the only way you can have a relationship with God is communicating with Him and having a personal relationship. And so for me, when you see those type of examples, or when you think about those kind of examples, it lets you know, honey, whether you ever get back in the church house or not, your relationship has to be with God, and that's the only thing that's going to sustain you. Not these people up into this church, not these pastors or these other people or whatever, which I don't have nothing against people. So this is this disclaimers, because people love to get offended. But anyway, that's not what's going to sustain you. And there are people, even though that it's proven, studies show that solitary confinement affects people very negatively, but there are people who are in solitary, people who are on death row. Most of them, they're in single cell, I believe. Don't ask me why I know so much about prison and stuff like that, but I might talk about that another day. It's just something that's very, I ain't gonna say fascinating, but I'm just curious about. So I've watched a lot of documentaries. I used to love to watch Locked Up and all that kind of stuff or whatever, because I just like to hear people's stories, like what got you here. Anyway, I'm gonna try to remain kind of on a straight line. But anyway, just all of those things, and just how, I don't even know what I was saying, but anyway, let me just continue this last thought. For me, religion and the secrecy and being secretive and constantly trying to cover up for people's bad behavior, it does nothing but breed a cesspool. It does nothing but breed an environment, a mentality, a mindset where you are kind of like set up to be victimized. And when you find yourself in a situation where you are victimized or traumatized or whatever the case may be, it's like you don't have a voice. And I think that is kind of like the root of me creating this series of telling my truth, is to let my voice be heard. Because for so long, I just felt like people constantly tried to silence me. It's like I can never, now I'm not saying I can't, but this is how people make me feel, that I can't be myself. I cannot use my voice. I can't just be who it is that God made me to be because somebody has a problem with it. If I am fully myself, which is, I'm not going to necessarily say that I have a big personality or whatever the case may be. I don't know what kind of personality I have, but I have the personality that was given to me, the one that I possess today. And it's when I am fully myself. Some people like it and others hate it. Some people love it and other people are so very offended. And it seems like they try to do everything that they can to try to break me down and, just basically silence me. I've had experiences where, and here's the thing, it's never me going into a situation where I'm like, I want to be this. I want people to look at me. I want people to listen to me. People just listen to me when I talk. That's just, as Daniva would say, honey, that's just true tea, honey. That's the true tea. People listen to me when I talk. And you know what? The fact that people listen to me when I talk lets me know that I should be talking more because God has given me something to say. And I'm just, I have something to say. And if people listen to you when you talk, that means that, again, branching off into the wilderness, but anyway, that you should talk. And also, it's definitely an indicator that I need to use my voice, because the fact that it seems like people have been attempting to silence me since I was a child means that there is something very profound that I need to release here in the earth. That's just how I feel about it. So, and my dilemma has been, how do I release what it is that I have to say? How do I release my thoughts? How do I release the truths? How do I release what I have observed in this world and experienced and how it has affected my life, whether negatively or positively, without offending people? So I made a decision that, bump people. And I kind of have that personality anyway, where it's like I don't particularly care about what people say, but at the same time I try to be sensitive to people, and not do or say things if I can help it. I ain't gonna lie and say that I ain't never did nothing to hurt nobody's feeling. I'm sure I have, but with that, especially being in church and serving on ministry and stuff like that, where it's like, well, someone at church might see this and they might be offended. They might think I'm not, what, I don't care. People need to deal with their super sensitiveness, because I do feel like, and this is just an aside, again, this is kind of like a ramble, an introduction to what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be sharing on my channel, that people just can be too sensitive. And I think a lot of the sensitivity has to do with the fact that they've not done the work, that they haven't addressed the issues that are going on with them. They want people to placate them and kowtow to them and all that kind of stuff. But again, like I was saying, I believe that the root of what I'm going to be doing in these next series of videos is, just speaking up and using my voice. And I don't know if I should stop here, but I was watching some videos this morning and it was so disturbing. And so the videos that I saw were of men approaching women, and not only were they approaching the women, they were doing the whole cat call, what's up, mommy, what's up, all this kind of stuff. How men do. If you're a woman, you know how men do. Now, a lot of men try to deny it, but if you're a woman, honey, you know how men do. And it's very offensive and it's very uncomfortable. And so these videos were so disturbing, because here they were, young ladies, she just sitting here at a cafe or whatever, she was streaming on Twitch or whatever, and this man walks up behind her. Obviously he found her to be attractive. She was a beautiful young lady, but that's neither here nor there. Just because you find somebody to be attractive, that doesn't give you the right to enter into their personal space. It doesn't give you the right to touch their body. Not only was he in her personal space, he was touching her. And let me tell you what the man did. So she tried to get away from him, trying to get him to leave her alone. He began to walk away, and then he comes up, and do you know what this man did? This man touches her breast. When I say that is so offensive, it's almost like, you see, I'm speechless. It's like, I don't know if, well, I do believe that there is a war on women, and there has been for a long time. And it's just like at every turn, it's like, honey, can we have some peace? Leave us, the HE double hockey sticks, alone. You can't deny a man your phone number. And this is not just in the United States, it's all over, and it's even worse in those countries where women have fewer rights than women do here in the United States of America. And I mean, to watch these videos of these women being followed, two girls, I think they were in Japan, but regardless of wherever they were, this man was following them. They were trying to get away from the man, running down the street, screaming. The man had a samurai sword, so like, who wouldn't be creeped out by some man following you, ogling you with a daggone samurai sword? You don't know what he gonna do. I mean, videos of women, you know, they turned their cameras on so that they can, you know, have some kind of record, or they started live streaming so they can have some kind of record that, you know, they're being followed for 40 and 45 minutes. And of course, I've had those experiences. I'm going to talk about that as well. But, you know, that thing really just irritated my soul. I don't know if we want to say I was triggered, but it was so disturbing. But it definitely makes me want to speak out. And I've seen a lot of videos that are disturbing to me and that make me want to speak out and tell of my experiences. It just kind of, I'm not going to say get the word out there, because I feel like, or, you know, you would think that some of the things that happen to women, some of the things that happen to girls in our society, that people would be aware or would care more or try to do something to change it. But people don't. They don't do anything to change it. I'll mention this one last video because I'm going to make a video about my experience. But, you know, I didn't know Blac Chyna had a show. I don't really know much about her except that she had a baby with Rob Kardashian. But anyway, apparently she has a show, and one of her clips came up on my YouTube feed, and she was talking to the therapist, and she was talking about how when she was a young girl, I think like 15 or 16, she was dating a man who was more than 10 years her senior. And so the therapist was talking to her, and he was trying to get her to understand that, you know, baby, you were victimized. And she got so defensive, and I don't know if it's because she didn't want to be seen as a victim or feel like a victim. And I don't even think that he was trying to make her to be a victim or to feel like a victim, but to just realize the reality of what happened to her, and that whether you're aware that you're being victimized or not, you are affected, and it affects your life, and it affects, you know, how you think and how you move, and all different your emotions and your mental state. You know what? I've been talking for 17 minutes, and I'm gonna let it go. And this is one of the other things, because I like personal development. This is a book that I am reading / listening to, and it is called The Body Keeps the Score: Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. And I have been on a weight loss journey for years. You know what? I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to start another video, because I also want to talk about my weight gain, my weight loss journey, some of the things that I believe or feel that have been affecting them. And one of those things is trauma, and unaddressed trauma, and unreleased emotions and things like that. So anyway, hopefully, although I went round and round the mulberry bush, you got an idea of what I'm going to be talking about, and, you know, what's kind of been on my mind. But either way, you know, I'm just hoping that, you know, not only will the videos that I make help me, but they'll help other people too, and also, you know, help other people to find their voice and to break out of that box of silence where you may feel like you have been silenced by the events in your life, by the people in your life, by the conditioning, whether that is religious conditioning or the practice of keeping family secrets, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let me jump off, and then I'm going to start another video. So hopefully you'll watch that one too. Bye.